So this is my project number 4. In this one, I'm gonna be trying to do a podcast, kind of a video type thing too. I'm gonna be adding like some videos and pictures, and I'm gonna be remixing the first project from when I talked about when I went down to Houston over the summer for my job, and just about the overall experience and just like the people I met, that type of thing, going a little bit in depth, a little bit more detail. I do want to apologize to whoever's being forced to listen to this because it's pretty bad. But I tried my best to make it at least a little bit interesting, but it's still pretty bad. So struggle through it, I guess. If you find enjoyment in it, that's great. But don't say I didn't warn you. So I started back sometime earlier this year. I don't know exactly when, but one of my coworkers just got back from a grand opening that she did out in Boston, and I was asking her about it, and I really liked the idea of flying across the country and just branching out and being able to make an impact in the community and that type of thing. So I talked to her about it. She goes, "Yeah, honestly, talk to your boss and see if he's okay with it." And I talked to him, and he was actually fine with it. I was surprised because I was only 18, and I was thinking like, he's gonna shoot me down. You need to be way more older. I had only worked there for not even a year, and he was okay with it. He was like, "All right, well, where do you want to go?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Where do you want to go? Like, where in the country do you want to go? Do you want to go to like somewhere on the West Coast? Do you want to go down south near like the border? Do you want to go on the East Coast? Do you want to go to like Florida, like somewhere there?" And I was like, wait a minute. They're gonna be okay with an 18-year-old flying across the country for work, like on his own? He goes, "Yeah, they'd be fine with it." So I was like, "All right, well, I'll just go wherever they want me to." So I talked to him a little bit more. I applied to a few openings. I actually got shut down like 5 times before I got accepted. I applied to one out in California, one in Florida, one in New York, I think one in Tennessee. And finally I got lucky. One of my coworkers knew the owner of this new Chick-fil-A in Houston, and he put in a good word for me, and they called me over the phone. I did a phone interview, and next thing you know, I was on a flight down to Houston. And of course my mom wasn't that happy about it because she really did not like the idea of me flying solo, going somewhere for 2 weeks on my own. But she eventually warmed up to it. My dad kind of convinced her too. But next thing I knew, I was going down to Dallas and catching a connecting flight to Houston, and I was there. And Houston is such a big city, and the city of Houston is so big. It's not, maybe when you think of Houston, you only think of like maybe somewhat like a New York type of atmosphere. Like it's only the big skyscrapers, like, the bigger buildings, the downtown area, that type of thing. But it's a lot bigger than a lot of people think. And it's really pretty downtown. If you ever get the chance, I highly recommend it. Here's some pictures that I got from Houston. I'll just let you guys look at that for a second. But yeah, Houston is just such an incredible place. There's a lot of people who are famous and came from there. I know Travis Scott came from there. I was kind of pissed actually because Travis Scott had like a charity softball, or I think it was charity softball game down there like 3 days after I left. And it was within driving distance where I was at. I was pissed. Like James Harden was there, Travis Scott was there, I think a few other celebrities. I was kind of annoyed. But anyway, Houston is just such an incredible place. So when I got there, I unpacked my things. I got up to the hotel, and I met this dude. He was like late 20s. I was kind of weirded out by him. He was like one of those. I felt like he was one of those like middle-aged dads who was trying to act cool. Like he was trying to use like weird lingo when it wasn't supposed to belong there at all. Like anyway. But yeah, a lot of the people I met down there were extremely nice. They were really, really kind to me. I learned a lot from there. I think one of the most memorable moments was this was during the orientation dinner, which is something that pretty much all Chick-fil-A's have. They like reserve a place, and they throw kind of like essentially what it is, a dinner for people, new team members who were coming in, and like new people who were working for them. And we had this. It was actually a venue in literally, I think it was a strip club, like at night. It was literally a Houston strip club, and I got dressed up to be the cow, and I was the cow for like a few days before that too. I was supposed to walk around like Houston, like I went to the University of Houston, I went to a bunch of like elementary schools, a bunch of other colleges, and essentially I was there just so they could take pictures and so the owner could have it later so he can post on his Instagram or whatever. Anyway, and it was brutal. Like Houston, heat is pretty unbearable as it is, but being in a cow costume when the fans don't work, it was, oh my gosh, it was brutal. But so I was the cow for orientation dinner, and we kind of used like this back way. Like there's this little elevator in the back, so there was a balcony too. And I got in the elevator. This is after like I got done greeting everyone. Everyone came in. Everyone was like all settled, and the power went out when I was in the elevator, in the cow costume. And I was still like fully clothed, so I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be here for hours. Like I was already sweating really bad because that thing's so hot. Thankfully the lights came back on, but I think it's got to be the scariest experience I had down there. And so that was good. Everyone, like I said earlier, everyone was just like so nice. The food was great too. I went to this place called House of Pies. They like the name suggests, they had like really good pies, but they served breakfast food all day, and the breakfast food was like, wow. I don't know what they put in it, but that stuff was great. And it was just so different to me because I was used to mid-Michigan and how like there were only old white folks that came in like to our store. Like I was just used to that demographic, and it was really cool to like see so many different cultures and so many different ethnicities come in through Houston and come into like the store. A lot of them didn't speak English, and I had to have a few of the team members like try to translate for me because a lot of them were Hispanic, a lot of them knew Spanish. I thought it was really cool, and it was just overall, it was just a great experience. I think there's another clip where I had the rental. I don't know, maybe I'll find the video of it or not, but I had the rental. It was a Dodge Charger, and I like loved that thing. It was the best rental car that we had. We had two or three other rental cars. They're kind of like, I think the one was it's like a soccer mom van. The other one was like a RAV4, something like that. But that one was super powerful. I was speeding a lot of the time, and it was so fun to drive that thing. But where the store was at, it was probably about 10 to 15 minutes outside downtown Houston. So we didn't get like a lot of city people coming through there. Like not a lot of nicely dressed people, not a lot of people in suits. We got a lot of people coming off the highway just to get something to eat because they were still driving to wherever they needed to go. And where we were placed, there was actually like a little strip right outside right off the highway. It was kind of like it was literally like a drag. It was a drag race because the road was straight and there wasn't a light for like 5 miles, I swear. So we heard a lot of custom engines and a lot of like the sports cars going like 60 down there, just like going full throttle on it. That was kind of cool. But when I was there, it was like I keep saying, it was a great experience, but I was scared for a lot of the kids there, just solely for the reason that there wasn't any child labor laws in Texas. So if the owners wanted to work someone for 12 hours straight, they could, because there was nothing stopping them from working like a 15, 16-year-old into the ground. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad. They did have like a few times where a bunch of the younger kids had to work super long shifts, but that was like the first or second day. And the other thing that scared me a lot was it was actually the third dangerous parking lot in all of Texas. And what that meant was there were 3 people who were killed in that parking lot over the course of the past year. and there was a security guard after 8 o'clock. The dude was really nice, but he, for the most part, just went inside and stayed on his phone. He didn't actually do anything about it, but I was kind of scared for the kids because knowing that and just knowing how close we were off to the highway it was just a really scary time. I felt scared for a lot of the kids there, but nothing really happened. Everything went out fine. So,
hey, sorry, me again. I'm here to warn you that this next clip is very cringy. This is when I first got to drive the rental car on my own. I thought I was like the coolest person in the world. Like I thought I was the shit. So yeah, this is just a warning. It's pretty bad. Also check out the lights. Look how festive I'm getting. It's only like October 25th. And I'm totally not doing this the night before. Don't even worry about it.
I'm still down in Houston for a few days. It's not as hot as I thought it would be, to be honest, but flying back Sunday. And check out the car that they hooked me up with. Watch this. I honestly think I should drive this back to Michigan. What do you guys think?
but all in all, I thought it was a really good trip. I thought it was a great experience. I thought the people of Houston were just great. I experienced a few drunk ladies who tried to call me hot and flirt with me. That was not fun. We almost got the cops called on them. But it's just the overall experience. I would definitely do it again, and it was just so fun to do. So that concludes my project number 4. If you made it all the way through, I sincerely apologize for having to listen to my monotone voice for a whole 10 minutes, but thank you for listening, and I appreciate it. Thank you.